everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up with day 13 of Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches, which also happens to be a DT layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Now, I am going to put the sketch up for 30 Days of Sketches. I didn't use the sketch today, so you won't see it pop up in the top left corner of my screen, but I did just want to have the sketch there so you could see what the sketch was. Today's prompt is stars, and I am going to be using stars. This is, look, it's a loose it's a loose interpretation of the prompt, but nonetheless, stars do appear on this layout, so, you know, it still works. Now, I am using a pre-done cut apart by Shimelle as part of the Field Trip collection. This has been in my stash for a really long time, and I was just playing around with it. What I'm doing now is creating what I thought was going to be my background, which is adding all of these coloured inside parts of the pie, I guess, which is sort of colour gradient rainbow theme. I don't, spoiler alert, I don't use this as my background, but you will see it come up in another layout in October, I believe. But I left this part in just because it was part of my process. I had initially thought I would use this as my background, but I didn't. I probably could have edited out the rest of the sticking of this down, but nonetheless, I've left the whole thing in. It isn't a particularly long video because the rest of it comes together very quickly. But yeah, this is how I decided to try and use both parts of this sort of, I don't know what it's called. I guess it's a pre-cut cut file, but I don't know. It's not really. It's like a specialty paper, I guess. As I said, by Shimelle. Shimelle, unfortunately, is no longer creating for American Crafts, so I'm not sure if any of this is still available. Some of it you might be able to pick up. But yeah, this is what I'm using. And so the cut file that you can see on the left-hand side of the page there is the rocket ship cut file. It's a very old cut file of Confessions of a Paper Addict. One of the originals, actually, I think, that Virginia made. And I have just added the clock face from the bookshelf cut file, I think. And I'm turning it into a rocket clock. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. A rocket clock from Play School. If you are Australian, you will know what I'm talking about. If you're not Australian, you have probably never heard of this. It is a kids' television show that has been around for, gosh, many, many, many years. And one of the key things they have around telling the time is a rocket ship. A rocket clock. And Lincoln loves the rocket clock. And Jess had actually bought tickets to a Play School concert for Jack and Thomas. And then Jack got an invitation to a party, a friend's birthday party. Of course, he wished to attend. So she ended up with a spare ticket. She only had one adult ticket, and I couldn't get another ticket because it had sold out. But I went and met her at the venue, and she took both the boys, Thomas and Lincoln, into the concert. Now, you just saw me there. I thought about using it. I really did. That had been my intention. But in the end, I actually decided to use the outside part of the specialty paper, which is what I'm just gluing down now. And I've still gone with a black cardstock background, but I'm actually going to use this part of the cut file, the specialty paper, not the kind of inside-y part. Yeah, I just got more of a space vibe from this part of the paper, and I'm really happy with how it turns out. So you'll see it all come together. I cover most of it, to be honest. You only get sort of a hint of it in the background. But you can see I've added my cut file there to the middle, and I have stuck with the colours. I know those colours of the rocket clock or the rocket ship are quite bold, bright, primary colours. But that is what colour the rocket ship is in Play School. You can kind of make it out the background of some of my photos, but that's why I coloured it that way. It doesn't necessarily go with the collection, Field Trip collection as much. However, it ties in really nicely with the photos because the photos in the sort of background of the Play School concert are very bright, lots of primary colours, lots of yellow, lots of blue, lots of red. And so it fits in my opinion, it fits well. So I am just backing my photos on some white cardstock. I did decide not to mat them on any other pattern papers. And then you'll see me sort of try and work out how to fit 4 photos onto this page with the cut file and make it kind of cohesive. So that does take me a minute of sort of faffing about. While I'm doing that, I will tell you a bit more today about Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches. So Scraptember has been happening for the whole month of September, well, as has 30 Days of Sketches. We are partnering with Laura Alberts, who we always run Scraptember with, and also Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, who is responsible for the 30 Days of Sketches series. Christy had to delay her 30 Days of Sketches series. It normally doesn't run in September, and so we thought it was a good opportunity to put them together, try them out, see if we could have some fun, and we have certainly had fun. And so today we sort of shout out a special guest every day, or a couple of special guests, but ultimately there are a lot of people playing along. A lot of people are playing along every day in September, so you will have already known. I mean, this is going up on the 13th. Well, it's the 14th in Australia, 13th. Anyway, it's going up. It's day 13 of Scraptember. It will be up on the 14th in Australia, just because that's when our COAPA layouts go live. But we have a lot of people playing on it every day. I'm sure your subscription feed has been full of this Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches thumbnails, so you will have been inundated with a lot of inspiration over the month. So today, for our special guests, we're shouting out Virginia and also Catherine O'Shea. They'll be linked in the description box down below, but as I said, everybody will as well. So just follow along. Everybody's prompts in the list down below. There's heaps of people joining, as I said, daily. So much inspiration. So make sure you check out everyone. Yeah, and as I said, a lot of people will be using the sketch today. I didn't. I've just gone with the Scraptember prompt. There are a couple more videos coming up where I haven't used the sketch for no other reason than I just, in some cases, forgot. I know that sounds weird, but I was just had an idea in my head, just gone with it. And because we're creating so much in September, I didn't sort of want to force it. So there are a couple more instances where I haven't used the sketch coming up in the month of September. But I have used the sketch. There's just a couple that I have not. And this is one of them. So you can see I've added my 4 photos. I worked out a way to get them all to fit without sort of taking away from the cut file. Even though the photos are the focus, the cut file is, a giant rocket clock, which is very on brand, on theme with the Play School concept, and you can see it in the background of the photos. But I definitely, I want the photos to be the focal point, but I still wanted you to see the cut file and be able to, recognize what that cut file is and look at the page and go, wow, that's the rocket clock from Play School. So, that's what I'm doing. Now, I had this puffy sticker sheet you can see on the left-hand side there called Field Trip. From the Field Trip collection from Shimelle, and it's all space themed. Now, I bought this not that long ago because I knew I had these photos to scrap, and I didn't have much of the Field Trip collection left from Shimelle, and a lot of it, I only got a little bit of it in sort of another kit, and I'd kind of used a whole heap of it already, and I wish in hindsight I had have got more when it came out, because it really is a great collection, very versatile, and great for scrapping Lincoln, because there was lots of like dinosaurs and outsidey things and space, and it was just a really good collection, and I should definitely have gotten more. Anyway, I end up actually adding every single one of those puffy stickers to this layout because it's space themed. This layout is, the photos are Play School, it's about space, a rocket clock. It was appropriate, and I literally put them all on the page. Now I'm spelling out my title, which is 3, 2, 1 blast off. For obvious reasons, it's a rocket ship. And Lincoln always says that. So when we're counting down from 10, which is a weird thing that he knows how to do, but he does, when we get to 1, he always finishes with blast off, which is cute. So, it's relevant to that, but also directly relevant to the Play School concept. So I wanted to spell out the title, and I actually wanted to get the title down before I continued with all of my embellishing, because I knew you know, I wanted to scatter the rest of these sort of spacey themed puffy stickers all over the page. So I'm just playing around with where I think the title will fit. I'm actually trying to work out sort of where the middle is. So I end up putting the blast in first, and then I put the rest of the title on either side. So I've kind of, you know, I'm not using a ruler. It's not perfectly straight, but it's you know, roughly in the middle. So there we go. Just adding that in there. And then I do create, technically it's 2 clusters, but then because I sprinkle embellishments around the whole page, it sort of feels like there's a lot of embellishments. So I create a cluster on the right hand side and the left hand side down the bottom, on the sides, or you can see it, I'm creating it now around my photo. So I'm just layering up some ephemera that I had from the field trip collection. A lot of it was fussy cut from one of the pattern papers. So there's a couple of robots, or there's one robot that goes on. There's some books. There's some, like, I guess they're ray guns technically from, you know, space related cartoons and stuff. And then here is where I'm adding the stars. See, I'm telling you, the stars make it on the page. Are they a big feature? No. It's about space, stars, planets. I'm going with it. It's working. But this is why I use this for the star prompt. Because I do add those stars. I am kind of embracing the space theme. There's not a lot of stars on this page, but there is still stars. So I'm counting it. I know there will be a lot more layouts that are up today that you've been watching that have many more stars than what I have used, but that's okay. I'm still getting stars in a layout. And in fact, I used this entire sheet of puffy stickers and I am proud of myself. So, you know, there's that too. I've got something out of my stash. So, yeah. And that was the other reason. Could I have put those stickers on other layouts? Absolutely. But, you know, did it work for this layout? Did I feel like it was too much? No. So I'm really happy that I got them all on, because I actually didn't feel like it overpowered the layout at all with this amount of puffy stickers. I think it's cute. So I've added in the planets around the top, one rocket ship, and then the stars. And then on either side, I've got my little clusters, which have a couple of different kind of bits and pieces sort of tucked in there. There's some words as well. And then I finish the whole thing off with some splatters. I do cover my photos because I don't want my photos covered in splatter. And I'm using the Liquitex acrylic ink in white. And I'm using a little tiny fan brush, and it goes everywhere. So you really need to cover your photos if you're using this technique. I'm adding my navy Heidi Swapp Colour Shine first. That's a little more controlled, but certainly with the little fan brush and the white acrylic ink, I find it has much less control, or I have much less control over where it goes, and the splatters are so fine, they really go everywhere. But I love the look, particularly on black, obviously. I get space vibes from it, so super happy with that, how this turned out. Now, in the description box down below, along with everyone playing along for Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches, I will, of course, have this cut file linked to Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I will link to the Facebook group. Believe me, you want to join the Facebook group. Something exciting is happening next month. You will get a chance to access some cut files that Virginia hasn't made public in the shop and won't be. Come and join the Facebook group. I can't stress it enough. You want these cut files, come and join the Facebook group. It will be linked in the description box down below. Here are my close-ups. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in tomorrow's video, of course, because we're not even halfway through September yet. So I hope you're having a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.